cobbler.
I've got a granny in Atlanta who custom bakes them just for me. Peach, berry, cherry, rhubarb, pineapple.
You can't cobbler pineapple.
Yet here it is. Homie, what's wrong?
I've never seen such beautiful cobbler.
That's what I would do. Oh, hey guys. Didn't see you there. Well, as you can tell, I got these peaches here. So, I was going to eat one for a snack, but kind of feeling something a little bit more to do with the peaches. And, Eric asked me the other day, why don't you just make your peach cobbler? Huh. I'm not going to eat all of these. There's 5 peaches here. It's about how many it takes to make a peach cobbler. So, why not? We'll make a peach cobbler. Welcome back everyone to yet another episode of Kirsch's Kitchen, and today, as you can see, we're doing peach cobbler. Now, if you want to take the time to blanch your peaches, you can. I tried, I failed, so I just decided to peel them with a knife. So, you're going to take about 5 peaches, you're going to core and slice them. Just like this. And then slice them like this. And be careful trying to slice the leftover inside that was surrounding the pit. It took me a few times to find a method that worked, so that I didn't completely butcher the peach. So that was number 2. See, that didn't work very well. So next, we're gonna try doing it this way. Now, after I tried it this way, this is what seemed to work the best. This was the most efficient. So we did the rest of our peaches that way. Next, we're going to cook our peaches down just a little bit. But to do so, we're going to go ahead and throw our pan on some medium heat. We're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Once I figure out how to work the spoon. So 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of salt directly into our pan. Add your peaches. All the peaches. And then 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. Now what's going to happen is the salt is going to pull moisture from the peaches to help dissolve your sugar, which is what you want. You want the sugar to dissolve in the peach juice. Now if your peaches are a little underripe, that's okay. These are just ones that I found at the grocery store. As you cook them down and the moisture comes out, it'll soften your peaches, and they'll be soft once you've baked them in your cobbler. Now the key here is to move everything around and keep moving it. You don't want it to sit because it'll burn or your sugar will caramelize. What you want is to move it around until the sugar dissolves in the juice from the peach, until you have essentially a syrup similar to what you would have if you used canned peaches, but I don't like the way that canned peaches taste in a cobbler. I think it's always been best with fresh peaches. But that's just me. So our sugar is dissolving very nicely here, and our peaches are starting to soften up too. That's looking good. It's about where we want it. Okay. So right here, this is what you want. So we're going to take this off the heat. We're going to set it off in the back. Just try to keep an eye on it. You want to make sure that the sugar doesn't recrystallize as it cools. Get this out of here. Some leftover pit. Next up, we're going to prep our pan. So you want to bake your cobbler in the oven at 350 degrees. But we're going to start with our pan. So as your oven is preheating, quickly prep your pan with 6 tablespoons of butter. Now you don't have to do this. This is what I do. But take your 6 tablespoons, cut them into squares, lay them into your pan. And once you have all the butter in, similar to using non-stick spray, grease each corner and side of your pan with the butter, and then just put the butter back where you had it in the pan. The butter is going to melt as the oven preheats, which is what you want. So we're going to throw this back in the oven. And now we're going to mix up our dough, if you will. So to start with, you're going to use a cup of flour, a cup of granulated sugar, another 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now make sure to measure this. Don't try and eyeball it because you'll mess it up. I know from experience. Even we make mistakes, y'all. We're not perfect. Go ahead and give everything a whisk. Make sure it's all well and blended. Give me a second while I go into the fridge. And we're also going to put in 3/4 of a cup of milk. Now mix everything together. Make sure to scrape the sides of the bowl so that you get everything, so we don't have any raw flour that may ruin the texture and flavor of our cobbler. It's going to be a little thick, but when you go to pull your whisk up like this, this is what you want. You want it to run off the whisk. Doing positioning things right now. We're going to go ahead and pull our baking pan out of our preheated oven. As you can see, our butter has melted very nicely, and we're going to pour our dough right into the pan. Most of it will spread out on its own, but make sure to get it all out of the bowl. And then lend it a hand and just gently spread the rest of it out into the pan. Now if the butter seeps over the top of our mix here, that's fine. Don't worry, it's okay. Next up, we're going to add our peaches. You're going to add it all. You can do it this way by adding the peaches in first, just to give it a nice spread, or you can just dump the whole pan in, it doesn't matter. As long as the peaches have an even coverage. Once you've done that, you're going to throw it back in the oven at 350 degrees for about 40 minutes. Now if you want, you can broil it for 2 or 3. Just keep an eye on it. This will also help kind of crust up the top a little bit. But before you throw it in, sprinkle it down with a little bit of cinnamon and sugar. Or not sugar, nutmeg, if I can talk today. And once it's done, serve it up with your favorite vanilla ice cream, and enjoy, y'all. Thanks for watching.